Hi, buongiorno. I'm Yuto Endo. I'm from Japan. Smart kitchen appliances are the appliances which are smart and more convenient than before. In Japan, a housewife puts 5 hours a week in housework, taking care of their children and buying groceries. They cook, wash dishes, and go shopping for the supper every day. My father runs a company. He comes back to home only on weekend. So my mother always do everything about the home. But what if she doesn't have to do the chores around the kitchen, and the smart kitchen take care of everything? In a smart kitchen, a fridge suggests tonight's supper from available ingredients. A microwave tells you the best way to defrost your leftover. Those functions will make your kitchen smarter and allows you to have more time with your family and friends. Thank you.
Where's my clicker? Here it is. Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin Brown. I'm CEO and co-founder of Init. We're a smart kitchen platform. If you've seen us on the floor, we're exhibiting today with our partners from Grundig. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a sense of how some of the last mile of this journey. So we start from the seeds and we go through the whole supply chain. But one of the places that really hasn't been well served is how do we help people cook and overcome some of those challenges. So if we look at every other part of life, music, movies, taxi cabs, we've got the easy button, right? You push the button, the car shows up with the right amount of seats, it's driving the right direction, everything's taken care of. It's all the stress is gone, and it's a lot better than it used to be. Spotify knows what song to play after my playlist is done, and it's always pretty good. Right, so all of the things in life today are getting digitized. All the consumers, our lives are digitized in many places. But what about food? What about when it comes to one of the most important things that we're doing is feeding ourselves, feeding our families, and making choices that can have not only a health impact, but also an environmental impact. Turns out, it's not easy. It's still really hard. In fact, you'd have to open up 5 or 6 different apps to get from what's for dinner. You have to go to a nutrition blog to learn some facts. You go to some recipe on the web. Now you have to go to YouTube and you're finding a video for how to chop your eggplant. Now you've got your remote controls for your different gadgets. So who wants to open up 5 or 6 apps to make dinner, right? It's still very fragmented and it's still very hard. And so this is where we saw an opportunity to help digitize that experience. So we co-founded the company. I founded the company with Eugenio Minviel, who is CEO of Nestle and Unilever in various parts of the world. He'd been running $10 billion food businesses. I'm from Silicon Valley. I'm the tech plumber. And we put our heads together and said, how can we start to have the information that's inside the food, unlock that to help make the journey a lot simpler? So why do it? If you're going to pour yourself, do 80 hours a week working on something, you should probably have a good reason, and ideally that goes beyond just the business itself. And I think what we're talking about here, and the reason all of you and I are here, is that there's huge stakes right now. And when it comes to food, for example, we've got a real challenge around health. So diet is linked to the top diseases that kill us. So it's the #1 preventable element that we could be doing better that's causing a tremendous amount of cost and a tremendous amount of hardship for people. So the studies coming out just again and again are showing that if we can do better here and help people eat better, they can live better. But it's not just us. It's not just personally how do you sort of have a healthier life. The impact on the planet is immense. So if you look at food waste as a country, it would be #3 in greenhouse gas emissions. 24% of all energy on the planet goes into food, and then we waste 40% of it. So if you do the math on that, that's like if you line up 10 barrels of oil, you light one on fire, and you push it over into the ocean. That's food waste. And for families, the average family is wasting about $1,500 per year in the US. That's a family that makes $52,000. So I mean, there's an economic impact, there's many different elements, and a lot of it comes down to people don't have that help. So they don't have that culinary GPS system that can take them help. How do I use the food I have? How do I make better choices? How do I, if I say I want to, eat in a certain way, how do I get through all the complexity of that? So from a business perspective and just the impact of this, these are huge markets. The global food market's about $21.5 trillion. Retail grocery, $8 trillion. And if you look at how people shop, for the last 100 years, they've walked up and down the aisles and they dump food in their cart because they like the red label or the blue label. And that's how they're making decisions. Maybe they squint at the side of the label a little bit, but that's not a great way to do the most important thing that you're doing for your family. So there's a lot of disruptors, though, that are now forcing companies to think about this differently. E-commerce competition from companies like Amazon is really forcing a lot of the food industry to reevaluate how they deliver the services to the consumers. We're partnered with Google doing a lot of interesting things to help make things easier in the kitchen. And if you look at all of the appliances, now you're going for 100 years, you had a box that got hot or cold inside. Now it's turning into a computer. It only costs $5 to add the Wi-Fi chip. So guess what? It's going into every single one of these appliances in the next years. So now you're going to have essentially a data center in your kitchen. And now, how is that going to come together? Is that going to be complicated, and are you not going to be able to use it? Or can we make that something that's simple, that's tied to your goals, that you can simply express what you want to do and have it happen? So this is where we spent the last 5 years of intensive R&D and putting together the whole partner network to help solve this. So what the Init platform does is it's that culinary GPS system that takes you through the entire plan, shop, prep, cook journey. So the stressful questions of what's for dinner? How do I find the right foods that fit my diet? How do I, maybe I didn't grow up in the kitchen, but I want to start making more fresh foods, but I don't feel confident about how to chop an eggplant or how to tie a chicken. And then finally, when I put that beautiful, organic, $30 piece of salmon in the oven, how do I not murder it? And so these are all stressful questions that if any of those go wrong, essentially, dinner is ruined, and it's kind of now you're ordering pizza at 9 p.m. So this is an everyday struggle for folks. And so we said, let's build a platform that can connect all the way through this. So we acquired the #1 personalized nutrition platform called Shopwell, and we're integrating this into our platform. We analyze over 1 million products every single day down to the ingredient level and can calculate a personalized nutrition score for you. So now you can start to say, hey, I'm trying to cut down on sodium. Which is the best tomato sauce for me? And now all of this is going to start to get automated. We just launched shoppable recipes, so you can customize your own recipe, hit order, and the bag of groceries shows up from one of 30 different retailers in an hour. So again, taking the complexity, turning it into the easy button. Now we've got step-by-step guidance. If you stop by the booth, we'll show you how on your kitchen computer from Google, you can now have voice AI, hey, show me how to do this, what's the next step, and really confidence. We handed this to my 18-year-old daughter who does not cook, and she made us dinner 3 nights in a row. Because if she can see it, she can do it. Everyone can cook. We want to make it easier and help. And now, increasingly, as we have more and more appliances, how do we, instead of having 7 different remotes, how do we pull that all together? So we're working with an ecosystem, because this is one of the things that Marco and Sharon and the team, we are such fans of Seeds and Chips. We are so proud to be working together and to be here again this year. And so the point that Marco made is that, look, this is not about competition. This is about collaboration. We have to work together. This is a big task. There's no one company, not even the giant ones, that can pull this off. We have to find ways that we can work together. And that's where we're really excited to be here with everyone here. We really want to welcome and sort of work together with you to solve these problems. So, for example, we're working with the food companies, so the big retailers, the big food brands, to say, how can we take your food, help people make the healthy choices that are matched to them, and then integrate that into the meal journey. we're working with the appliance companies. So today we're really proud to be here with Grundig and showcasing how we can take their appliances and connect it to this platform. And again, we can do this across multiple different brands in your kitchen, so you don't have a bunch of siloed remotes. Now it's all kind of integrated. And then finally, together with players like Google, how do we tie this into the platforms you use every day? Voice AI, hey Google, let's cook this chicken. So let me go back, if we could go back one, sorry. There we are. So we're rolling this out worldwide. So for 20 years, people have talked about the smart kitchen this and the smart kitchen that, and it's been kind of a lot of talk. This is literally the year right now when this is all coming together. Now, finally, we've been in market for about a year. We're shipping, so we're working with sort of the major retailers, the technology companies, appliance partners, and these are now rollouts that are happening in market. So we're coming to Europe. We've launched in the UK and the Nordics, and we're now going to be rolling across. So we're planning to come to Italy, France, Poland before end of year, and then we've even started to get pulled into Asia. I was in Shanghai a few weeks ago doing a launch. So we're seeing the same problems. Each country is different, each cuisine is different, each culture is different, but some of the challenges are really the same. And so we want to really think globally about how do we roll out and have tools that can help people and really create a rich experience that makes it fun to cook, gives them the confidence to cook, helps them live healthier, and start to make choices that are much more responsible for the planet. And if we can do that, we feel that we can do our part to help, and we really want to be working together with all of you to do that. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, and happy to talk to everyone later.
Good morning, everyone. The WHO says that you have to have 5 times of veggie and fruits during the day to be more healthy. In UK, they say, well, 5 is good, but do it 10 times. Now, veggies and fruits are great, but is it the same if I'm getting a banana and a carrot, or I'm getting lettuce and an apple? It is not. We have very different micronutrients inside. And the gentleman before was speaking about personalized nutrition. And personalized nutrition, I strongly believe that in 10 years' time will be the only nutrition that we're doing. We share between us the majority of our DNA, but the small quantity of DNA that we don't share and the habit that we have, they make the whole difference in a type of chronic disease that we can have. Now, we've done a lot for the majority of the DNA that we're sharing. There is a huge complexity in what is left. Now, if today I am here and I do a certain amount of steps, or I spend my day in a couch, my requirements of my nutritional intake is very different. I've been running poorly a half marathon on Sunday, and my nutritional intake at that day was very different from what I require today. There's a huge complexity in there, and it's very difficult to answer because we need real-time data. To have a correct nutrition for me right now, I need something that gives me what is for me right now, not a month ago or a week ago. That's why we came out with MixFit. And MixFit, for us, is a good way of implementing a personalized nutrition. How we do it? MixFit is based on science and technology. Technology allows science to be implemented easily at home. We wanted to put back science and not opinion, and there is a lot in nutrition, back in the center of nutrition. How we do it? Nutritional science define different aspects that you have to consider. What you're eating, and through the MixFit app, you can collect basically the pictures of what you eat. You can put inside just typing. We break it down to the micro level, and we understand what you're introducing. We can connect your Fitbit, Apple Watch, everything, and then we can see your activity level. We're slowly integrating also genetic testing, metabolomic, and deep phenotyping. These are the type of data that we need to define what is the correct diet. Once we know that, we need to deliver it. But we need to deliver it right now. We don't have to deliver it in a week time. These are the type of data I was mentioning before. And to delivering it, we came out with ideas like, okay, well, we need something that is doing a mix just at the specific time. I'm an ex-Nespresso, and when I was in there, well, I was in Nespresso, and I was also working with all the rest of the systems that Nestle created. And there's one thing that they told me, which is absolutely intelligent. Say, if you want that the people put in their kitchen a new device, that has to do something that is very difficult for them to do it otherwise. I've been thinking about it. It's like, well, you know what? Personalized nutrition, I cannot do it. Even myself, that I have a PhD in chemical engineering, and I've been working for 15 years in nutrition, I cannot take all the data and follow up and so on. So I need an intelligence that does that for us. So Mina, mixed with Intelligent Nutritional Assistant, which is the app that you have on your phone, is collecting all the data for you, is taking all the complexity in the back end, and then through the MixFit devices, this one is the MixFit one, you can basically have, based on your profile, choosing the type of taste that you prefer, you can have your drink right now. And it complements with all the micronutrients that you require, and protein, and of course also the macros that you require. We launched in the United States, beginning of the year, D2C. We think of having those devices in every single gym. I think it could be great to have it in schools as well. At work, we already sold a few corporates to have it for their employees. And then on the go, we're working on how Mina and MixFit can accompany you everywhere you go, because we travel a lot, unfortunately. We are incorporated in the United States and in Switzerland. That's where, even if I'm Italian, that's where we are. So we started on our D2C journey in the United States, and we are looking and finding partnership all over the world to bring basically health, energy, and good mood, because if you are with your correct nutrients, it's also, you feel better wherever we can. Thank you very much. I'm Marco. If you guys want to know anything about it, or just go and come and take your personalized drink, download the app, comes to your booth, which is the, well, I don't know it anymore, but it's there somewhere, and then come and try your own personalized drink. Thank you very much for having me.
Hello, I'm Michael from a company called Plant Jammer, and we really like the concept that your kitchen, your smart kitchen, should be much like your friend who's a chef. So that friend you can call and ask about what is good for me health-wise, what is good for me taste-wise, and how do I get it. I'm going to talk a little bit about how the existing technologies do not do this at all today. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about how we can change that with a few really exciting technologies, one of them being the ones we're developing, of course. So today, when I come home from work and I'm tired, I've made enough decisions of the day, and now I have to cook, I'm in trouble. I asked the technology that's available today, and it's not a very smart technology. It's smart in some ways, but not for the kitchen. It's Google. So I click zucchini salad recipe, and I get 1.5 million results back. And it's a complete jungle. I click the first one. It's got basil and pine nuts, and I don't have that in my kitchen. So I'm going to go for the next one. It's got broad beans. I have no idea what it is. And the third one's got this mix of parsley, mint, and chives, and dill. I give up, and I make spaghetti bolognese once again. And this is what happens to us on a daily basis. And it's a problem because it bereaves us of an opportunity to eat real food, to explore our tastes, and by the way, to stop food waste. So, because we didn't use that zucchini, right? So what if we do something different? What if we learn from the best? This is René Redzepi. I'm from Denmark, and he's a hero in Denmark because he's the chef of Noma, which is one of the best restaurants in the world. And when he goes to a farmer's market, he does not come with a recipe. He looks at the ingredients he sees, he finds patterns, he knows which ingredients go well together, and then when he comes home, he comes with a flavor profile he then makes into a recipe. Now, what if we could all do that if we had, a friend who's a chef in our kitchen? We're taking the first baby steps in that direction with an app called Plant Jammer, and what you do is like this. First, I'm setting something with a font, so I'm just going to talk you through what it says. First, I set up a health target. So what do I want to achieve? Do I want to have weight control? Do I want to have stable energy throughout the day? Take care of my blood sugar level? And then after that, I say, what do I have? Type in a few ingredients I want to cook with. It looks at the ingredients. It finds out what could I actually make with this in some different groupings. I find something that looks interesting. I click it. And now I chosen the ingredients, and it shows me what am I missing. You see, we found a way to find out how do you balance a dish? What are the components you need to have really good taste? And then we show you, oh, by the way, you're lacking something umami, and here are 20 ingredients that are great that are umami for your dish. And you build your dish yourself until you get the recipe. And the recipe based on exactly your ingredients, so not with broad beans or pine nuts, but based on what you have. And the best part of the experience with these guys is not just that you get a great recipe, but that you build it yourself. You have this sense of ownership and sense of learning as you're doing it. So you really felt like you had that 5-minute conversation with a chef that taught you about something today. And we bring back the real food, the real experience of cooking, not just a fast button, but also an experience. And by the way, you type it in, you get feedback on your nutrition for your next target or the next day. How does this work? How can you do that? So what we did was we did 3 technologies. First of all, we took millions of recipes online, and we built a neural network, which is basically a landscape of ingredients. It's basically machine learning on recipes to understand which ingredients go well together. This beautiful landscape pops up, where you see ingredient mapping, and you see which ingredients play which roles. Then we asked a lot of chefs the question, why? And they started annotating the ingredients and understanding what is actually occurring from this data. There's funky stuff like the onions were up there right along with all the fruits, and we didn't really understand why. The reason why that is the reason why we use so much onion in our dishes is sweetness, because we fry it, and it gives sweetness to a dish, and that's the component it adds the most when you look at the data. So ideas like this you learn, and then we build this framework called the gastro wheel we just talked about, which is what are the components of great tastes. So we don't just give people ingredients, we give people a tool. We don't give them a fish, we give them a fish stick to cook with. And finally, we had to get recipes. So we actually built a modular recipe builder that says whatever ingredients you take and you want to make it into a risotto, here you go, within 200 milliseconds. So that's basically an algorithm that makes sure that you can build a great recipe out of anything. We modularized it. We said, okay, there's actually about 20 recipes in the world, and every recipe is a branch out of those recipes. So you can build a recipe like this with the ingredients you choose. So that's the technology available now. Now what's interesting is if you put this technology into a context. So one of our investors that we're very happy about in Plant Jammer is Miele down in Germany, up in Germany. I'm talking from a Danish perspective when I'm saying down. And Miele, they're very invested in kitchen experiences. And what they're doing among the other kitchen manufacturers is looking a lot into sensors also in the kitchen. So very soon, your fridge will be able to smell your food. It will be able to say that, oh, by the way, those tomatoes you shouldn't have in your fridge, but nevertheless, those tomatoes, they are getting old, so they are better for a soup than a salad. Then there's other technologies that went a bit fast. There's other technologies that's making it very easy to deliver, right? There's StockUp, buying online. There's your Amazons. There's also your conversational tone in your kitchen. Amazon Alexa that's making it possible and easy to cook if you just knew what to cook. We think there's missing something there, right? in between Amazon and Miele and Google, and we think it's us. So what if you took all these technologies and you added the fact that you can actually know what you need, know what you like, know what you have, and give it into a gastronomical context where you actually are cooking with it. That's what we try to do, and I'm just going to give you 3 minutes of how that would feel a few years down the road. So this is me. I'm driving home from work. I'm in great trouble. It's 5:30 p.m. and it's cooking night for me, so I have no idea what to make for my family. So I ask, let's say, Amazon Alexa, that's obviously in the car, and I ask, what should I make? And Alexa says, you have these mushrooms in your fridge, and they're getting kind of old. They get these like ethanol notes when they get old, and for that reason, you're going to need something fresh to go against it. And there's actually these beautiful purple carrots that just got out of a farm nearby, and they will fit perfectly with the mushrooms in a risotto. They'll fit right here in your flavor map, which is where your family really likes it. So how about we do that? And I say yes, and by the way, the algorithm would have known with 98% certainty that I would have said yes. So the ingredients are already on my doorstep as I come home, and we're ready. Now we sit down and we cook, with a smart kitchen, of course. And we sit down as a family and we taste the food and we talk about food in a completely different way. Not the fast food kind of way, but where we talk about floral notes of the carrots, we talk about the ethanol notes of the mushrooms, talk about umami, we talk about sour. We can suddenly talk about another way because we've been given this tool that talks about taste in another way. And that's a great opportunity because food shouldn't just be fast. Food shouldn't just be something to get over with. Food should be, it's basically an opportunity for you to be present in your mind and to be present in your body. We're spending all our day looking into screens and thinking conceptually. Food is that opportunity. It's like meditation. That opportunity where you're getting into your senses. So this is, when you can talk about taste this way, you get something much stronger. So basically, we believe that if you have your friend who's a chef right next to you in your kitchen, we can create health. Physical health, because you'll be eating real food that is, by the way, also healthy for you and tailored for you. You get economic health because the guy who made those carrots, it's worth it for him to create really good carrots because we're appreciating the good food. That's also important. And finally, mental health, right? Because at the same time, we are using food as a vector for presence and not just something that has to get over with for the rest of our lives. So that's the vision we like, and that's the vision we believe in. If you want to talk more about this, then Planjammer is in the big white building in the smart home section in the middle of the stage here. We'll be happy to chat. Thank you.
Morning. It's true. Our kitchens are smarter than ever. Our kitchens are so smart that last year in the US, one of our president's most famous advisors joked about her microwave spying on her, and it was national news. But it's no joke. Soon our kitchens may know more about us, or at least more about our eating habits, than our spouse or our significant others know, or even our own selves. Hi, my name is Zalmi Duchman. I'm from Miami Beach, Florida, and I am a food tech entrepreneur. I've been in the food tech space since 2006, back when the word food tech didn't even exist. Today, I run multiple food tech operations, including Mellow Inc., a hardware company, as well as Home Bistro, a frozen meal business. Today, I want to speak to you about what I see as the next frontier on the smart kitchen landscape, and that is meal delivery. I'm sure most of you in this room have had a meal or two delivered to you, at your home or maybe at the office. And I'm not talking about pizza delivery. Well before the Uber Eats and Grubhubs of the world began delivering you a meal from your favorite local restaurant, there was a very different type of meal delivery known as Fresh Meal Delivery Subscription Program. These meal delivery programs offered their clients all of their daily meals, that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, delivered to their homes every night. Think Meals on Wheels for seniors, just a lot more gourmet. But to get where we are today, I first need to take you back to when it all began for me. Back in 2005, I was looking for a new opportunity. I was 25 years old, already supporting a wife and a 4-year-old daughter, plus I had my son on the way, and I was working in real estate and felt that my future was not secure with the looming real estate crash. I had heard about a pretty new fad called zone diet delivery. The zone diet was the most popular diet at the time and had been for the previous 10 years. And there were a handful of small companies delivering fresh meals prepared in accordance with the zone diet to their customers. This new fresh meal delivery concept was a few years old and had begun catching on in large cities like New York and Los Angeles, but were largely unknown to most consumers everywhere else. I was living in Miami at the time, so one day while I was sitting at my desk and I was dreaming of a better future for myself and my family, I threw the words meal delivery into Google, and I couldn't find anyone local servicing my area with this novel concept. So I launched my own company and called it Zone at Home. Since my time is limited and my focus is on the future and not really the past, I will fast forward a bit. By 2010, my company had changed its name to The Fresh Diet, and after a whole lot of sweat, blood, and tears, my small business, which launched out of my apartment with $500 on my credit card, was the largest fresh meal delivery program in the country. We were operating kitchens in 5 major metropolitan cities around the nation, and we were delivering a full solution of meals to over 5,000 customers every night. On any given evening, our delivery drivers would cover over 15,000 miles on the road. Like the milkman of the old days, our drivers left the meals in a cooler bag overnight and picked up the old ones from the night before. By the time I left my business in 2013, the Fresh Diet had sold over $100 million worth of fresh meals. But the industry was changing. While fresh local meal delivery was the dominant industry leader for the previous 20 years, 2 slightly different solutions would drastically change the market. The meal kits, like Blue Apron, Plated, and HelloFresh, began to take a massive market share with their huge marketing budgets, while companies like Freshly began to use technologies called modified atmosphere packaging to ship meals across the country. Although my founders and I saw this future coming, we no longer controlled the vision of our company, and the new managers and owners failed to continue building on the bricks we laid as foundations for our future. In 2012, we had launched our own national MAP program, but that was shut down after I left. We had even foreseen the meal kit craze and partnered with Plated for equity in their company. After giving Plated free rent and having a deal on the table for a piece of their business, the new manager switched the deal on them and began charging them rent. This led to us receiving no equity in Plated, and eventually Plated left our kitchens and went on to build and sell their company to Albertsons for $300 million. After leaving my business in 2014, I started focusing on industry thought leadership and investing. I had no longer control of the company I built from the ground up, but I did have control of my own future. I began writing in Forbes and did some angel investing of my own. During that time, I discovered a product that had just launched called Mello. Mello was the world's first sous vide machine, smart sous vide machine, that not only could cook, but also refrigerate. Mello was the future, but the reason I was so excited about Mello was very different than its other investors, and even its own founders. Everyone that was involved looked at the Mello as an appliance, and that's all they saw. Although at the time, companies like Keurig and SodaStream were already very successful in the beverage category by merging their hardware with a subscription service, appliance companies did not have meal delivery on their radars. But when I saw the Mello, all I can see was meal delivery. And I wasn't the only one thinking about that. Today, companies like Tovala, Nomiku, and Suvi are more focused around the meal subscription part of their business than the appliance side. Tovala became the first smart oven to offer a meal plan just by scanning a barcode when they launched last year. And Nomico became the first sous vide machine that could do the same thing. Sous vide is promising to combine both an oven and a sous vide in one with a meal subscription, and is set to begin shipping later this year. And thanks to the huge success of direct-to-consumer smoothie companies like Daily Harvest or Green Blender, you can find startups like Blix, who is building hardware specifically for the purpose of selling smoothies, soups, and spreads around it. These companies understand the economics of a subscription-based business built behind a piece of really sleek hardware. And that's why I strongly believe that the future will be the merging of the smart appliances and meal offerings. I have no doubt that in order to survive, most smart kitchen appliances will eventually move in this direction. I believe companies like June and Brava Home, the clear leaders in the smart oven space and who collectively have raised over $35 million, will most likely introduce a food component to their business, and it will probably do the ordering for you. Another important trend that I believe will positively mold the merging of the smart kitchen and food delivery industries is the drastic pivot currently being made by the meal kit giants from direct-to-consumer to retail. As Blue Apron's stock plummeted from its initial IP and continues to decline, the industry quickly realized that their subscription churn was too high and that without retail, they would not survive. While this is true and retail will play the largest role in the future of the meal kit industry, direct-to-consumer will still play a large role in these businesses' marketing plan. And the pairing with smart kitchen appliances is not only a great way for them to create much-needed revenue from DTC, but will most likely be a lot more stickier with less churn, as a subscriber will be more loyal due to the unique offering. While we aren't there yet, I definitely can envision a future of when my oven will be ordering my chicken and my KitchenAid will order the flour. We aren't fully there yet, but we are closer than ever. And that's why Mello will begin to roll out a meal subscription arm to our business by next year. With our amazing Mello app, not only will you be able to cook your meals without even being in the kitchen, but we will completely take out all of the guesswork from your hands, allowing you to easily order your favorite ingredients or complete meals to be cooked hassle-free. Our patented cooking mode will allow our customers to create stress-free meals at their own schedule and not be held hostage by their appliance. So, while we are already in the infancy of the merging of the smart kitchen and meal delivery businesses, the real future is not too far away when your smart kitchen appliance will be ordering your next meal for you on its own. Thank you for your time. Come visit us in the Smart Kitchen Home Tech where the Mello is displayed.
Hello everyone, my name is Felipe Hernandez. I'm the lead product development and founder of Hexagro Urban Farming. We are striving to become the first indoor farming platform of hardware and software solutions to increase the accessibility to indoor farming technologies, starting by reconnecting people to nature through indoor farming experiences. Because we are spending 90% of our lives in indoor environments that make us sick, in which we are working and we feel stressed, and we are getting more and more isolated to nature because of this boom in urbanization. Air quality in indoor environments is 5 times worse than outdoors, and this is having a direct consequence on our performance and the way we feel. Because now, indoor wellness is affecting much more than our dietary habits, and this is why companies are investing a lot of money to provide their employees wellness solutions that can make them more productive and feel better at home, at office. So we took inspiration from nature strategies to develop a system that could feel any environment, any indoor space, while reconnecting people to nature. We took inspiration from the honeybee hive and the trees, and we developed a modular system that could be presented in different shapes and configurations. So we are increasing wellness by engaging employees in companies to interact actively with plants and being guided by a software and hardware product that can show them how to take care of the plants and do very simple maintenance tasks. So the Living Farming Tree is offered as a service to companies that want to improve and monitor the wellness conditions of their environments. It's presented in 3 different configurations that start for 4 modules, 7 modules, or 13 modules. And this is able to scale up over time. Only you have to subscribe to an annual membership, and you will be able to access also information and reports related to indoor wellness. This system is standalone. Everything you need is a electricity plug and a Wi-Fi connection, and the system will work autonomously. In each platform that you see, you can grow a different crop type in a different stage of growth, and this is allowing you to harvest not only variety, but also a high yield. And this is how we imagine that the future office space can look like. We want to present and give the opportunity to companies to have indoor gardens that are very decorative and that can be also interactive with the user. We are using the aeroponic technology, which is actually a variant of the hydroponic technology. And this is a technique that allows us to configure lightweight structures as we are seeking to fill indoor environments. And it's also more efficient in its water use by reducing 90% of water consumption compared to traditional farming. It's much more faster than traditional methods, and it's working autonomously. So companies that are spending on greenery actually don't have to cover the costs of having somebody to put water all the weeks. The system irrigates itself, but instead of having decorative plants that don't do nothing much, you will be able to access edible plants with an automated system. You can assign also the crop type that you want to grow in each platform, and the system will automatically adjust the irrigation cycles and also the light for horticulture. The aeroponic technique is important because now we are making research on how these air roots that develop freely in the air, thanks to this micro mist that we are spraying inside the modules, can actually filter the air inside an indoor environment. We are offering this platform as a service, and as part of our service, we are able to track all the data of an environment, temperature, humidity, CO2 levels that are important and relevant for plant growth, but also for our wellness in an indoor environment. By offering this IoT service, we can also control remotely our systems. We can offer the customer some advice on how to do the little maintenance task. We also offer the resources they need for the cultivations, and we send reports on the indoor wellness and the data that the users input about themselves, because the system is interactive. So you will see this very weird-looking tree, and you will go and approach to it. Then the system will ask you, how do you feel today? From bad to good, you will choose. And do you feel any of these symptoms like headache, eye irritation, throat irritation that are directly related to the quality of air in an indoor environment? So how would you like to feel? And then the system will tell you what kind of recipe you should do to mix medicinal plants and do a herbal infusion. So thanks to this interaction, we are reconnecting people with plants. They can feel better by having these herb infusions, and they can also create content, for example, in the case of innovative offices or the hospitality sector. So instead of having an inert environment when there's just some plants not moving, not doing anything, you can have a center of gravity that creates social interactions and that actually can gather data on how your visitors or your employees feel. And this is relevant, for example, for human resource managers that are trying to improve the productivity of their company. So we invite you to visit Novotel in Milan. It's here in Cagranda. And see the system for yourself. What we're trying to do with Accor Hotels, in this case, is to offer them a business opportunity in which they can actually offer their guests green cocktails that are personalized and customized to what they are looking for. We are a young team. We are international. Actually, my team is here with me, and we also have our system installed in NextGen Home. We invite you to interact with the system. We have a small survey as part of the experience that we are currently developing. And we would like to for you to join our mission of a future in which anybody can access healthy food. As part of this mission, you are not only going to improve the wellness conditions in your workplace, you are not only going to be able to access medicinal plants on site, but you're also going to input important agronomic data that will help us to transfer all of this technology to social projects that are using the same aeroponics technique. This is an ongoing pilot in Colombia, where I am from, because we're trying to make this technology, vertical farming technology, accessible for traditional farmers that don't have resources and have no idea of what this is about. So we believe that agriculture has made a drastic change in our history, and we believe that it can do it again. Thank you.
My grandfather used to say, only kings and farmers can eat well. And he was right. I was born and raised in southern Italy, where the food, is amazing fresh. When I moved to Milan, I realized that fresh food is a luxury. So, what does fresh food actually mean? Fresh food is healthy food, because fruits and vegetables lose up to 80%, yes, 80% of their nutritional value in just 1 week. And millennials, like me, know this. More than 50% of us plan to change our eating habits towards an healthier diet. But we are struggling to find the time to hunt down the freshest produce and then prepare and cook it. The good news is, Fresco has a convenient solution for us. Hi, my name is Antonio. I am the CEO and founder of Fresco. At Fresco, we are rethinking the healthy food industry. We believe living healthy starts with eat well, and we shouldn't compromise between freshness and quality and convenience. So we built the first solution to make health food really easy. And how do we do it? Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the Fresco pulps. From the ground up, we partner with the best farmers to ensure the best fruits and vegetables. Then we clean, peel, crush, and fast freeze them to maintain all the nutritional value and taste inside. So you can make fresh food that before were time-consuming or even not possible, like juice, soup, sauce, and olive oil. Yeah, even olive oil. We developed the first solution to make fresh olive oil everywhere. Fresh and personalized. The name is Eva. We entered the market with a limited edition for the best restaurant in town. We started with a focus on olive oil, because for many people in the world, not just for us, for Italians, olive oil is the basis of healthy diet. For them, we have a simple business model. The machine is for free, and we sell the pulps on a subscription basis. In only 8 weeks, we got more than 50 pre-orders by the best restaurant in southern Italy, and we have 10 committed resellers to enter new cities. Now, we are running the pilot with Metro Group in Berlin and Milan. But this is only the first step to be a leader in the healthy food industry. Now, we are launching our disruptive product for the B2C markets. The first, juice without a juicer. How it works? You can open our pack with pulps of farm frozen fruits. Then you can put in a shake for 20 seconds, adding water or milk, and enjoy it. So you can make fruits and vegetables a daily habit every day. Given that we are in the right place, where innovation meets food, I am so happy to share that today we are launching our Fresco juice. So there is a special discount for you on our website, makeitfresco.com. Okay, settle down, settle down. Don't rush to the stage all at once, please. But anyway, let me talk about competition. Today, of course, you can go to the supermarket and buy freshly pressed smoothie or pre-cooked soup. But they aren't as healthy as you'd expect. Or you can use a traditional kitchen machine, but it's not so convenient. Maybe you are familiar with this story. On Saturday, you go to the supermarket and buy fresh produce to make healthy food every day. Every morning, you wake up, go to the kitchen, and you have only to wash the fruits, peel, cut, and take the juicer. Where is the juicer? Ah, it was in the dishwasher. So finally, you can juice and enjoy it. Do you think you are done? No. Actually, you have to clean the sink, the tools, the countertop, and maybe pretty much the whole kitchen. So we developed the first solution to make it very easy. Kitchen machine, traditional kitchen machine, were built for the lifestyle of 80s and 90s. Times have changed, guys. Today, millennials spend less than 20 minutes a day cooking. Fresco was built for this new generation. So who is the team behind this amazing product? I founded my first company at 16. 3 generations of my family were in agri-food, and they have 80 years experience in finance at the leading Italian financial institutions. 4 years ago, I decided to challenge the status quo in the healthy food industry, and I was so lucky because I met my co-founders, Francesco, Piero, and Alessandro. They have 8 degrees between them, including 2 PhDs, and 30 years experience combined in mechatronics. Altogether, we are supported by 7 amazing employees, and we got the trust of outstanding partners like Unical, by almost 100 equity co-funding investors, by the hospitality leader Metro and the investor Techstars, and by our brand ambassadors Ciro Immobili and Antonio Nocerino. Fresco means also reduce waste. Maybe you know that more than 50% of fruits and vegetables are wasted. Maybe you're thinking. But Fresco solution can save up to 50 million meals every day. 50 million meals. Fresco is not only changing the way we make healthy food, it's changing the way we eat. Maybe the kitchen of the future will be like this, #NoKitchen. Or maybe not, but who cares? Because for millions of people, healthy food is not a luxury anymore. Thank you.